Ha ha ha, yeah! William Nylander who? Matthew Nyes who? Who? What are you, an effing owl? Okay, no, we're not going to pull any Wolf of Wall Street shenanigans out here, but we are going to talk about the Canadiens because the Montreal Canadiens have just defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-2. At the Air Canada Centre, excuse me, not the Air Canada Centre, the ACC, at Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto. And for the most part, I'd say that Montreal, they didn't really ice the best lineup possible. Sure, they had some D-men out there that are pretty strong, like Lane Hutson. Arber Xhekaj is literally strong, and by the way, he had an A on his sweater today. And even on net, you had yourselves Fowler and Kahkonen. Fowler didn't even play, it was just Kaapo the entire game here. But despite the fact that Toronto iced a lineup that featured Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, Nick Robertson, William Nylander, Nick Waugh, Max Domi, Matthias Michele, Dakota Joshua, and Kelly Yarncrow, Toronto ended up losing. On defense for the Maple Leafs, you had Chris Tanev, Jake McCabe, Brandon Carlo, Morgan Riley, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Anthony Stolarz was in for 2 periods, yet the Toronto Maple Leafs lost. It's the preseason, who cares? All these players are going to be on the team. Yes, we know that, we know. We understand that Toronto had a very strong lineup, and thus this strong lineup of players might not have had incentive to play their best. But what does that say about the Montreal Canadiens when their top minutes guy on the night was Alexandre Carrier, followed up by Jaden Struble and Alex Newhook? That this Habs team was still able to take it and win the game. Let's go over the goals here because things started out nice and early, 10 minutes in, at the hands of Alex Newhook. Assisted by Alexandre Carrier and Zach Bolduc. It's a really nice play as Alex Newhook is able to capitalize on a good rush. Bolduc tries to shoot it. It deflects away to Alexandre Carrier. Carrier, he waits, he fakes. He then finds Newhook streaking in, who walks in with a shot and the goal. 1-0 off of a very beautiful play of patience and poise, making it 2-0. Halfway through the second period on the power play, you had yourselves Riley Kidney, assisted by Sean Farrell and Sammy Blais. So a cast of Montreal Canadiens, old guys and young guys, that are all trying to make an impression and trying to build momentum for themselves. The passing play is with Lane Hutson as well, and inevitably, it gets tossed around down to the goal line, back out in front for Riley Kidney. He takes a shot, the rebound is there, Kidney still pounces on it, and then he tries to swipe it in through the goal there. It ends up going by Anthony Stolarz. 2-0 hockey game for the Montreal Canadiens. Just a few minutes later, you had John Tavares on a Toronto power play, bringing the game score within 1. Tavares takes advantage of an unfortunate Montreal Canadiens clearing attempt. This one was Arber Xhekaj, who tries to play it up, but he gets pressured by William Nylander on the boards. Nylander kind of dislodges Xhekaj's momentum, and Xhekaj just kind of coughs it up down the middle. Tavares is there, he picks it up, he fires it in, and he scores. But then, just 3 minutes after that, on a Montreal power play one more time, you have Lane Hutson scoring his first of the preseason, assisted by Alex Newhook and Tyler Thorpe. This one comes quickly after the break-in as Thorpe walks down the right side. All eyes are on him, the goaltender's attention is on him, and instead of walking in with the shot, Thorpe then twists around and sends it back over to Lane Hutson at the blue line, who walks in, he fakes, he takes, and he scores. Ladies and gentlemen, Lane Hutson might not take years to get his first goal of the season again like he did last year. I mean, the guy could not buy a goal in the first half of the season pretty much, and now looks like he's learned to shoot. So, yeah, I'd say that's pretty remarkable for Lane Hutson and what he's capable of doing if he's able to add that lethal shot to his game in the same way Quinn Hughes was able to add shooting to his game 2 years ago. I think it'll definitely open up more opportunities and offensive point capabilities for the young defenseman here. In the third period, you had the 4-1 goal from Montreal. This one scored by Farrell off of a pretty good turnover as the Canadiens forced Chris Tanev back into his own zone. A nice steal there by Alex Belzile, who walks down Main Street. He tries to take a shot, but the puck fumbles away from him, and Farrell's on the side there to pick it up and put the garbage in the basket. 4-1 hockey game here for Montreal at the halfway mark of the third period. And then 7 minutes later, you had William Nylander. He scores from John Tavares and Morgan Rielly, making it 4-2. It's a pretty reasonable play for the goaltender to give up here. Kaapo Kahkonen let in only 2. This one was kind of not his fault. I mean, the puck was thrown in front of the goal, and the rebound was right on the doorstep there. John Tavares also got a tip on it, but Nylander is on the doorstep to put the puck in the basket. So Montreal ultimately walks out of this one with 4 goals against Toronto's 2. They outshot the Maple Leafs 29-23. And despite the fact that this roster was heavily stacked in Toronto's favor, Montreal still goes out there and takes the dub. We're starting to see a lot more confidence and stronger play out of many of these Montreal Canadiens. Joe Veleno, I thought, had a very strong game despite the fact that he didn't get any points. Owen Beck is providing value out there with his hustle and his work ethic. But I think Lane Hutson was the true star of the show. Definitely the most talented player on the ice for the Montreal Canadiens today, and you really saw why, especially on those extended offensive zone chances. Just the way he dances and controls the blue line and scans everything and creates stuff out of nothing, and if there isn't anything there, he'll be able to shift over to the side and then he'll have himself a chance. I mean, the preseason has been good to the Montreal Canadiens. This team was really strong, despite the fact that it was mostly not the main guys going out there. Veleno, I think, might have just earned his spot on the team with the way he played, not just tonight, but throughout the entire preseason. He really is coming to play and showing off that he was maybe mistreated a little bit in Detroit. In fact, I think I kind of want to make a video about Veleno tomorrow. We can do that and get into a broader discussion about the final Canadian spot. I saw some other people saying, oh, Sammy Blais could potentially make the team. I mean, it's possible. We'll see. Other than that, though, nice to see Arber Xhekaj get himself a number. You can say that he didn't have the best game, but still, he was out there, he was doing his thing. I thought he was okay, aside from the turnover with the John Tavares goal out in front. That's not really on Kaapo Kahkonen either. I think both of the goals were very much not his fault. But at the end of the day, you know, the Laval Rocket, the Montreal Canadiens, whatever you want to call them, they went out there, they took a win. Nice. If you enjoyed this video at any time, please click the like button. If you did not, then hey, the dislike button is there for you. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I really appreciate those as well. Let me know in the comments section how you felt about this Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.